Tuesday and Thursday from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. If you're in section 3, it's on Fridays from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. So please come in there, and the virtual office hours, there's instructions on how to get on those on your Blackboard course under syllabus. And then click on the Getting Started folder, and there'll be directions on how to access the virtual office hours. So utilize those if you need them. This is a really packed week. All right, MindTap chapters 1 through 7 will be reopened on Saturday, October 3rd for those 24 hours. So this will be the last chance you'll have to fix any zeros that you have in those first 7 chapters. So make sure you utilize that. You cannot use it to retake it. So if you've already taken it, you already have a grade there, then you're stuck with that. Okay, but if you have a 0, you can go in and take it if you've never taken it. And that's for chapters 1 through 7. Your midterm assignment is due on Friday, October 2nd. Your chapter 7 in MindTap is also due this weekend by October 3rd. Your replacement assignment, if you choose to do it, is October 3rd, and I'll show you where to find those things. Also, utilize the YouTube link that I've put on Blackboard, and I'm about to go through and screen share that and show you where it is, because there are instructional videos on how to do the replacement assignment, how to do the midterm assignment, the lectures that I do for my synchronous online classes. So if you need any review or anything like that, you can go through there and view some of those lectures. So they're in class if you need some extra help in addition to reading the book. So I'm going to go ahead and share something with you at this point. We'll do. Okay, so this is your course. Go here if you're looking for, right, here's your Getting Started folder and the syllabus. And if you click on that, there's instructions on how to connect via the virtual office hours, MindTap, and then down here's the YouTube channel. So this is really important. Looking on the YouTube channel, which I will do in just a second, there's a lot of resources there that you can utilize. So let me click onto the YouTube, and I will share that and show that to you. Okay, so there's, these are all the videos that are on the YouTube channel, and these are lectures, right? Instructions for the optional assignment is here. Instructions for the midterm assignment is here. Although this one, you can cut it off after like minute, I think it's 10.5. For whatever reason, Blackboard decided to have 2 more minutes added on the end. More lectures, there's here, plagiarism quiz, that's over. But there's a lot of document analysis, and a lot of these videos from recordings from in-class sessions. So utilize YouTube as much as possible, because I put everything on there, and I'm going to keep adding. I think I've got 3 more videos to put up there from lectures that happened last week. So make sure, if you need anything, it should be on YouTube. Now, let me also go back to your course and show you where to find other things. Okay, so again, this is back at your course. Your assignments here, midterm assignment, common core assignment, and then the replacement assignment. Okay, and again, this is optional. The replacement assignment is optional. Okay, the midterm assignment is not. The midterm assignment is in lieu of a midterm exam. Okay, and they're going to want grades next week. So make sure that you do this midterm assignment. And if you have any questions over it, there's an instructional video on YouTube. Email me. Come to the virtual office hours. Utilize that. Okay. Now on MindTap, there was one thing I want to show you, because there were some questions about how to get into this stuff. Here we go. So obviously here's your course. But here's the links to all the tests. Okay, this is all that's due. You can click on that and get in there through there and utilize MindTap as much as possible. Okay, again, if you have any questions, that's all I've got for right now. Again, email me, virtual office hours, and y'all have a great week.
Okay,
Thank you.
so the virtual office hours for your class was this morning, Mondays, from 9:30 to like 11:20. But if you have questions or you want to meet another time, you can always email me, and we can set up a meet for that. Do you guys have any questions, Philip?
So is the Minecraft assignment still getting reopened on October?
Yes. Delyn, I did get your message just a minute ago. I was on the phone with IT. I apologize because my Blackboard wasn't working, which I see that is not uncommon that there are people having trouble getting in. So I'll get with you after class. We'll all arrange to we'll meet today. That's what I'm trying to say somehow. Aaliyah Bacon?
Yes, I had questions about the midterm, like essay assignment type thing.
Uh-huh.
I was wondering, so like in the actual file where they have all the information for it,
Mm-hmm.
there's like the little documents you put in there, but then on the actual like rubric of what to do, kind of like it says you can only use the textbooks we're
You can
supposed to
only
use
use
for that
what?
textbook.
Oh, that's for any outside information.
So, but
Okay.
that's the only source we can use, right?
Correct. Other than the documents.
Okay, so how does that work? That's what I'm confused about. Like, I
All
don't,
right,
and I'm also confused. Sorry, 1 second, real quick.
that's okay.
Like, um, like, are we just supposed to be answering the questions in like a essay format, or are we supposed to have like a thesis?
Both. You're supposed to answer the question in essay format, and you should have a thesis for your answer.
Okay.
Let me show you. Let me get out of this and look. Let's get back to your class. Hold on. Here we are, and we're on assignments. I'll pull up that rubric to see. Nope, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Here we go. So right here's your documents. Here is the rubric, and let's have a look here and see what's happening. Can you all hold on? Can you all see the rubric?
It's just
No.
on the same screen, the assignments. Like,
Okay. Hold on. Let me try this again. So, okay, let's share this and then pull up the. Okay, here we go. Okay. So you do have to have a thesis. Looking for, right? She was talking about sources. No attempt has been made to incorporate factual sources, information, whichever. What? Okay, I think what that's talking about. So this is what you're talking about here in Student Learning Objective 5.1 is, do you cite your sources correctly? And again, a lot of this language is something that is pulled from the SACS assessment, right? Which is how TSU keeps its accreditation. But basically what it's saying is, did you interpret the sources correctly as opposed to either misinterpreting them or representing them as your opinion of what they said versus what they actually said. Does that make sense? So they're looking for correct use of sources there. I can see how that could be confusing to you. But what you're going to be using are those primary sources, and then the textbook, you can use that. And again, I think the verbiage there is just trying to make sure that you used the sources correctly. Okay.
Okay, so to clarify, so we do create a thesis and we answer the questions that you provided on the little other page. And
Mhm.
then we use the textbook and the other sources you provided as like our how we get the information. Whatever
Right.
documents we need to use, we use, but we don't have to use all of them.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. But the assertions that you're going to make about, for example, let me pull up the prompt here. Um, okay, can you guys see the screen again? Can you see your course screen?
Yes.
Okay. So we look for instructions here. Pull this up. All right, let me make it bigger. Okay, so when you go through and answer these questions, right, you have to be able to back up your answers with evidence. And the evidence is the documents. That's where you're going to get your evidence from. And the textbook. You can use the textbook when you're talking about, um, parts of this. Why did they emerge? How did each side view each other? So you're going to formulate your answer to these questions. You're going to create an essay that answers the question, and then this essay needs to have a thesis statement, right? And the way that you structure your essay in answering these questions is you have to have evidence to back up your answer to these questions. And this is where you can use those documents in the textbook as evidence. And you're going to need that for, especially how did each view the other, because the documents talk about the other side. Sometimes not so nicely, but so they do talk about each other. So you can use the documents for that. You don't have to use them all, but you do need to use some because without any documentation, again, you're just kind of putting out your opinion. So thing about opinions, right, is everybody's got one. But it doesn't mean it's correct. So the way to back up your answers or your opinion on the answers of these questions is to cite historical evidence, such as those documents I provided for you. Okay. Any other questions about that?
Can you maybe possibly give an example of a thesis you would use? Or
Well, let's see. I would talk about just kind of going off the cuff. I would probably say something along the lines of in the midst of the Constitutional Convention, two factions emerged, one being the Federalists, the other being the Anti-Federalists. And both had different ideas about how the Republic and the Constitution should be formed. Again, that's just off the top of my head, but that's
no, that's
where I
a
would
lot.
start. Yeah. And then, a thesis can be 2 sentences. So if you wanted to include all of the question in the thesis, you could, but I don't think that's required, just as long as you have a thesis statement.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep. Does anybody else have any questions about this assignment?
Oh, I have a question, man.
Yes.
So you said that we can still email you even though because our office hours is just on Mondays.
Correct.
Yeah. So like, if it was like another day, then we can just email you on the day, or like, do you think that we can join the other group on that time? Do you think if we just emailed you?
Yeah, just email me and I can send you a guest link
Okay.
and
Yes, ma'am.
you can join up there. But yeah, so on Mondays is your class, then Tuesday and Thursday is section 4, and then Wednesday is section 7, and Friday is section 3. So I do have office hours every day, but Monday, Wednesday, and Friday they're 2 hours, 9:30 to 11:30,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
then Tuesday and Thursday they're an hour, 11:30 to 12:30.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Angel McLean?
Yes. So my question was off of the extra credit, the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution
Yes.
paper.
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to make sure before I like start it that I'm doing it right.
Okay.
So you just take that Google Doc, that Word doc, and then you just fill
Mhm.
in the solution to each one.
Correct.
Okay.
But you have to indicate where you found it.
Okay.
So that's also why I kind of provided the outline of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights,
Mhm.
because it's lengthy. You don't have to read it a million times
Right.
to find the answers to those problems. So what you do is you look at the problem, the grievance, right, and find out,
Mhm.
okay, what is this talking about? Is it talking about the judicial branch or the executive branch or the legislative
Legislative.
branch? And then so that focuses you in on like that article, and then you have to go through that article and see because each one of them has sections. Each article has sections.
Mhm.
So then, the first part of your answer is going to be Article X, Section Y, and then, you write out in your own words how they fixed it and
Okay.
made sure that that wasn't going to continue. Yeah.
Okay. And we only use the articles that are given. We can't use secondary.
I mean, you can, but the thing is, all the answers have to come from the Constitution or the Bill of Rights.
Got you. Okay. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yep. Um, Nikia Williams also has the Declaration versus Constitution. Are we only finding the solution? Yes. Just make sure you identify where you found it as well. Okay, any other questions about stuff that's going on this week? Because there's a lot going on this week.
So what is everything that's due? You already put that in the video, right? Everything that's due this week. I
Yes.
just go back. Okay,
Yeah.
just keep
Mhm.
All right.
Yep. And it's all in the syllabus too. Ref, Elizabeth?
So like the what can the replacement thing replace? So everything, like even the plagiarism quiz, or it's just the like the homeworks, like the document analysis and stuff.
It can replace the plagiarism quiz, the document analysis, discussion grades, because we've had 3 at this point. It cannot do mind tap, and it cannot do the midterm assignment.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yep. Uh, Sydney Tasker, when is this due again? Which assignment are you talking about? The extra credit, October 3rd, Saturday. Okay, stop. So let's get started on chapter 7, because obviously this is the chapter we're going to spend talking a lot about the Constitution. Correct, Angel, it only replaces 1 low grade. So that's also when MindTap reopens. Correct, yes. You can look, it's under assignments, Megan. It says replacement assignment, like Declaration versus Constitution. Okay, so let's move on to chapter 7. And again, this is a lot of, I need to share it, sorry. Not sharing, doesn't help. Okay, I know. Here we go. Okay, so, end of chapter 6, we've won the war. And the treaty is signed in 1783. The Articles of Confederation were signed in 1781, right? Were actually ratified. Everybody agreed in 1781. And now, we have to implement this new form of government. And it doesn't work very well, right? As we discussed, there's a lot of weaknesses in the Articles of Confederation. So the first couple of years, right, 83 to say 85, 86, they're trying to kind of work out the kinks again. This is the first time really in the world that colonies have won their independence and decided to start their own type of government, right? Because it is unique. And what the Americans do is they basically can choose the stuff they like from various empires, right? Including the Roman Empire, right? That's where we get the name the Senate and the senators. From the British Empire, we have two houses in Congress, right? We have a Bill of Rights, as we copy the English Bill of Rights, so to speak. So we do kind of bring in together what it is we think works and what we like. But we're starting to figure out that we're not there yet. And what we have in place, the Articles of Confederation, doesn't provide that structure. And the federal government or the national government is so weak that it's ineffective. Okay, and this is really emphasized in two events. The first is going to be the issue over the Northwest Territories, and then the second is going to be Shays' Rebellion, right? So, as we see in 1783, the Treaty of Paris grants us the area between the Appalachians and the Mississippi. So we have a large portion of what we would call the back country now. We control that. So that's part of our territory. But that being said, how do we, negotiate with the Native Americans that are there, that were protected by the British? And how do we, divvy up the land? What do we do with this? Okay, so we create a lot of treaties with the Native Americans, but we also have some issues with the Native Americans are at war with each other in certain times, right? And as we said, they're one of the groups that suffers from the American Revolution, in that the British actually were controlling the spread of the colony and keeping Native American territory safe from further encroachment by white settlers. So, as you know, the Treaty of Paris comes into effect, they've lost all support, really, from their European allies, and this creates problems for them. And you can look on that map, but and we can discuss that a little bit later. The other issue is, what do we do with this territory, right? It isn't a part of any state. Therefore, it's going to be decided by the Articles, the Congress from the Articles of Confederation. So all 13 states have to come into an agreement about what to do with this new land that the country owns. Okay, and remember, it has to be agreed upon 100%, right? And so, let me hide that so you can see, hopefully. Organizing this territory is complicated, right? Because we have conflicting claims on this. Some states just want to increase their borders all the way to the Mississippi, like Virginia. Other states want it divided up into military governances, like military territories, or territories that are run by the military. And others want to create whole new states. Question? Sorry. Let me stop sharing, and I will get to, I'm going to show you these MindTap, here we go, maps in your textbook, because the slide is talking about it. So this huge territory, right? And we know that the southern states want to increase this territory, right? They want to create larger states because they are attempting. Okay, can we mute, please? Thank you. All right.
Now this don't make no motherfucking sense. I just pulled up in this motherfucking parking lot. You a hoe. And this who I see on the motherfucking ground, like I put him in the car. Yeah.
All right.
Bitch. Yeah.
Anybody know who this is?
Hey.
Can we have them mute?
Hey. This nigga. Hey. Yeah. Wait your mother. Wait your mother.
All right. Let's try and get that under control.
Man, this don't make no motherfucking sense. I just pulled up in this motherfucking parking
What
lot.
is it?
You a hoe.
And this who I see on the motherfucking ground, and I gotta put him in the car.
All right, I tell you what.
Yeah, now, bitch.
Let's turn that
Yeah.
off
Man, this
and
don't
see
make
if
no
we
motherfucking
can't.
sense. I just pulled up in this motherfucking parking lot.
You a hoe.
And this who I see on the motherfucking ground, and I gotta put him in the car. Yeah, now, bitch. Yeah. Man, this don't make no motherfucking sense. I just pulled up in this motherfucking parking lot.
What is?
You a hoe.
And
What?
this who I see on the motherfucking ground, and I gotta put him in the car. Yeah,
Okay,
now,
you know what?
bitch.
Here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna end the
Yeah.
session and come back in.
Man,
Okay?
this don't make no motherfucking sense. I
So
just pulled up in this motherfucking parking lot.
let's just shut it down.
You a hoe.